I'm Michael Floyd, your balloon twister, and this time I'm going to teach you how to make a simple R2D2. I really like this design because it only uses a few balloons, but it captures the character really well without getting too complicated. If you want to see a complicated R2D2, check out the one I did for Baloo and Fell. But this is an instructional video, so I'm going to keep it simple. Let me show you how to make my pal R2D2. For this design, you'll need a gray 260, a white 260, and a scrap of blue 260, and a scrap of red 260. You don't need a whole balloon for these, you're just going to use a little bit. We're going to start with your gray 260, inflate it halfway. Let them out, and tie. Give it a squeeze and a stretch. We're going to start by making a small bubble, about 1 inch. We're going to pinch twist that by taking the knot, folding it over, and twisting it into it. Twist it around really good so it doesn't come undone. Now we're going to give the balloon a squeeze and a stretch, because you want it to be really soft. And we're going to go out about 5 inches. Then we're going to make another 1 inch bubble. We're going to fold it over, and we're going to pinch twist that by pinching it, pulling it, and twisting it. Give the balloon another squeeze and a stretch. Fold it over, twist the seam there. Now we're going to twist this seam into this pinch twist. So these two bubbles here should be the same length. We're going to make a third one now. Give the balloon another squeeze and a stretch, and fold it over, and twist the seam right there where it meets the pinch twist. Go ahead and twist it in there nice and even. So you should have something that looks like this so far. Now we're going to give the balloon another squeeze and a stretch, and we're going to twist a small bubble, a little bit bigger than 1 inch. We're going to take that seam and we're going to twist it into this bubble. And I know it's too short, so you're going to have to squish this bubble up to meet it. That can pop on you if you're not careful, so take your time. The rest of this we don't need, so we're going to squeeze it and stretch it, and then pop it off on the ends. But we want to maintain some slack, because we're going to take the slack, we're going to pull it taut over to the other pinch twist, wrap it around, and pull it taut back to the original pinch twist. Any excess, just tuck up inside. So you should have something that looks like this so far. Next, get your white 260 out and inflate it 2/3 of the way. Let them out, and tie. Give it a squeeze and a stretch. We're going to start by making his leg, and at the bottom of his leg is his foot. So make 2 small bubbles. They should be about the same size. These are each about 1/2 inch. Take the knot over here and twist it into the seam over here. Then pull out the slack and pull it through the seam and wrap it around and tuck it in to lock it into place. Now we have 1 foot. We're going to go up 4 inches after making sure it's nice and soft. And there's one of the legs. We're going to take this seam here and we're going to twist it into the head. So get your head out, and take this seam and twist it into one of the pinch twists. It doesn't matter which one. You'll notice that when I twist the white balloon into the pinch twist, I roll it around the pinch twist, and the pinch twist doesn't actually move. It doesn't get twisted anymore, that way it won't pop. Now give the rest of the balloon a squeeze and a stretch. You want to make sure this is nice and soft. We're going to twist another section the same length. We're going to follow that up with a small 1 inch bubble, followed by 2 small bubbles. Now we're going to twist this seam here into this seam here. So you should have something that looks like this. Give the balloon another squeeze and roll it through that seam. And twist this 2 bubbles around each other. Like that. So now you should have something that looks like that. Give the balloon a squeeze to get a little bit of slack, and pull that slack down and wrap it around. That's going to be his front foot. Now we need to make 2 more sections the same length. So these 2 here should be the same size as these 2 over here. And we're going to twist this seam here into this seam here. So you should have something that looks sort of like this so far. Now we're going to twist another section the same length as these bubbles here. You should be pretty much at the end now. We're going to twist that seam here into the other pinch twist over here of the gray balloon. Now we want to make another leg on this side. So we're gonna squeeze it and stretch it as much as we can. Mine's pretty full, and I dropped it. So I'm gonna twist a section that I want the length to be. I'm gonna twist my 2 small bubbles. Oh, this is really full. I'm gonna twist them around each other. Now comes the hard part. I want to pop that, but I want to leave it as slack so I can wrap it around. And I might not be able to do that. That's just way too full. So what I'm going to have to do is let some air out first by taking a small bubble and popping it. There we go. Twist a section I can let some air out in. There we go. Let some air. Hold on to that end while I'm twisting the rest. If you need to use another white balloon for this leg, feel free. But I was able to salvage it. That took some time. There we go, there's the other leg. So you should have something that looks sort of like this, and I know it doesn't look like R2D2 quite yet, but we still have to adjust it. We're gonna take these 2 here that are in the middle, we're gonna put them like this, open up the hole there in the middle, and feed it halfway through. There we go, I adjust the foot on the bottom. Now I just have to put the legs on the back side. And I like to tuck them into that spot there. This is how you're gonna want to arrange the body. The 2 legs in the back, right underneath the pinch twist, pointing down, and the little foot in the front with the section there in the middle. That way it can stand up on its own, sort of like a tripod. But we're gonna add a little bit of detail to the head. Get your blue scrap out and inflate it just a little bit, like 2 inches. You don't need much at all. Tie a knot. And we're gonna twist 2 small bubbles, each about 1 inch, and twist this knot here into the seam here. Take some slack of the balloon and wrap it around to tie it nice and tight and break off any excess. You want something that looks like this, just 2 bubbles. A little bit big, but not too big. Next, we want a little red light, so we're gonna blow this up just a little bit, like not even 1 inch. Go ahead and tie a knot, and then go ahead and push the air in there and twist it so it gets all nice and full, and take the slack from the end and wrap it around and through. So you get a nice little bubble like that. And I like to double knot it just so it doesn't come undone on me later. And then break it off with a little bit of slack. Just like that. So you should have something that looks like this, just a bubble with a little bit of a tail. Now comes my favorite part, putting this all together. What you're gonna wanna do is pull the top open so you can see through it, and stick the blue balloon halfway through. So you have 1 blue bubble on one side and 1 blue bubble on the other. Take the red light and put it on one side. And you can feed the slack out from the back. I like to pull it over the blue to make sure that doesn't come undone, and pull it into the pinch twist on the opposite side. Then you just adjust it so it looks like that. And there we go, 1 R2D2 made out of balloons. I know this design isn't that fancy. This is more for people who are impatient and don't have a lot of time. For line work and restaurants, if you want to see a really impressive design that took me a long time, this design took me over 2 hours. There's no lesson for that one. You just get to watch. But every hard design needs a simple design to complement it. And this is my simple R2D2. Well, that's it for this video, guys. As always, if you enjoyed it, let me know by clicking that thumbs up button. And I'll see you back here next Monday with a brand new balloon animal lesson. So if you don't want to miss anything, make sure you subscribe. And if you can't wait till next Monday, check out the playlist in the description. I have over 100 balloon animal lessons that don't fall off my hand. I'm Michael, your balloon twister. Remember, you can make anything out of balloons, even R2D2.